left it.
I hope we don't find any surprises in it.
Surprises like what? Buried treasure?
I was thinking more like 3-month-old leftovers.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
Help me lift the lid.
Ooh, spotless.
Hey, it may be a pit, but it's our barbecue pit.
Our barbecue pit that can feed like 100 people.
Yeah, you can feed that many.
Well, how many people are coming to this block party?
Like 100. Well, no, actually, more like 25. Now, grab these brooms and keep them ready over there, because we're going to need them in just a little bit. We dug this pit about a year ago when we were having this big party, and we wanted to roast a whole pig. We've used it a few times since then. It's a kind of whole day affair to get the whole thing up and running. But you know what? It's a great way to feed a big crowd of people. So if you're going to have a fiesta, nice weather outside, well, I'd say that Mexican-style pit cooking is definitely the way to go. Because in Mexico, a fiesta always means lots of people, a little bit of drama. Most of all, it means great, gutsy food. Like one of my favorite fiesta places of all time. It happens to be in Mexico City in a place called Arroyo every single Sunday. Now, to call Arroyo a restaurant would be like calling Mexico City a little village. The place seats like 3,000 people. And on Sundays, it's standing room only. You'll see like 2, 3, 4 generation families sitting down at these big long tables. It's like this ultimate all-day family reunion, barbecue, block party, dinner, dance, all rolled into one. Pork carnitas, pit-cooked lamb. That's what makes Sunday at Arroyo's the carnivore's carnival ride. Now, the lamb, they call it barbacoa de borrego. It gets seasoned with coarse salt and avocado leaves. Then it gets wrapped in maguey leaves and then slow roasted in this hot brick pit till it's infused with all that smoky flavor. And these big platters show up at the table, and it just all comes together. The crowds, the music, the flavors, the smell of the fire, the abundance of it all. Now, that's the definition of a fiesta. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll do the pit-cooked lamb, the barbacoa, sort of like at Arroyo, but we'll do the Oaxacan version marinated in red chili and then cooked with avocado leaves.
Well, what's for starters?
Oh, I was thinking Tlayudas. You know, the grilled tortillas that are all crispy with the different toppings on them and all of that? And then we'll unearth the lamb.
My favorite part.
Oh, mine too. Because that meat is just so succulent and so juicy because it steam roasts in the pit. And we'll put it out with some beans and tortillas, a great big salad, and people can just come and enjoy themselves, hang out in the yard, listen to music, maybe a little dancing.
Ooh, sounds like my kind of block party.
Yeah.
So what's for dessert?
I was sort of thinking maybe you could make your famous lime ice.
Well, it sounds like we should get cooking.
I think so.
How much lamb did you buy?
Well, we got a whole block to feed. You know, it's about 30 pounds of small lamb.
It looks like it's enough to feed most of Oaxaca.
Well, might just be able to do that. But worst case scenario is we got leftovers.
Barbacoa for breakfast.
Yeah, little breakfast tacos of lamb with some spicy salsa. Now, I'm gonna need a lot of help here. We're gonna start with the marinade. If you could break those 2 heads of garlic apart and then put about 6 of the cloves on there to roast them, then chop up all those onions and those carrots to go underneath the lamb when it cooks. Now, the marinade for this thing, well, it starts with these guajillo chilies. You know, it's the smooth-skinned ones. And you just tear off the top, the stem end of it, and then put your finger in there and tear it open like that. Shake out all those seeds. You can tear out the veins if you want to. Make it a little less spicy. And then one by one, we're gonna oil toast these guys. I'm gonna put a skillet on to heat here. Add some oil to it. When that gets hot, I'm going to toast those chilies. If few seconds on each side. They'll start to blister right away. Turn them a couple of times, and over the next couple of seconds, they'll change color slightly and fill the kitchen with this amazing aroma. Then collect them all into a bowl and measure in 3 cups of hot tap water. Now I like to lay a plate on the top to keep them submerged in the water while they rehydrate for about 20 minutes or so. Then we're going to collect them into the blender along with all of their soaking liquid. Add the roasted garlic. Of course, I peeled off the papery skin from it. Measure in 2/3 of a cup of vinegar. Add some cinnamon, cloves, black pepper, a full 1/4 of a cup of table salt, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. That'll give this marinade a real punch so that it can season all of that lamb. Then we blend it until it's all smooth, and I'm going to press it through a medium mesh sieve to collect any little stray seeds or bits of skin, and we're ready to take it to the lamb. Okay, I've got this big roasting pan that I bought down at the restaurant supply. It fits right into my pit. And we got the chopped up carrots and the onions and the garlic down in there. I'm going to put all the innards down in there. That's the liver and the heart and the kidney. Big handful of fresh herbs. I've got some marjoram and thyme and some fresh bay leaves. Now the lamb is going to roast over the top of this. So we'll put in, well, this is just an oven rack from one of my ovens. And if you want to lay a couple of pieces of banana leaf in there, Lanie, this will just keep that lamb right up out of all of those flavorings that we've got down there. Now, this is the main seasoning that you think about with Oaxacan-style barbecue. It's the dried avocado layers, and we'll put about half of those on the bottom, and then we're going to lay the lamb over the top of that. So we'll put the pieces of lamb in there, fitting them in nicely before we rub the marinade on them. Then pour on the marinade and smear it all over all sides of the meat. Top it with the remaining dried avocado leaves, a couple of pieces of banana leaf, and you're ready to carry it out to the hot pit. Then after we cleaned that pit out, we had built a raging fire in it for about 3 hours to really get those bricks hot. And when it had burned down mostly to embers, I removed the last few burning logs from it, and we lowered the lamb right into that hot pit. And we poured about a half a gallon of water into the pot all around that lamb so that that lamb could sort of roast and steam above that beautifully aromatic liquid that's underneath it. Okay, we've got the fire in the hole, as they say, but we got to smother that fire. So we're going to top it off and then put dirt all the way around it and let that lamb just kind of smoky roast and steam for about 6 hours until it's succulent. You know the drill, Lanie.
Sure do, pit boss.
Oh, okay. Very, very gently, very gently.
What do we do?
We just think beautiful barbacoa thoughts and we wait. Well, you could help me tackle the seating arrangements.
So in other words, we'll drag every chair from inside the house out to the yard?
No, that's not exactly what I had in mind. Let me show you. Okay, right over here, Lane. Well, certainly beats hauling chairs now, don't you think?
Yeah, so what kind of look are you going for? Sort of Cleopatra's barge look?
What kind of movies have you been watching? No, I was just thinking, you know, we're going to have a ton of people around and the food is very casual, very easy to eat, so we could just put it out on a buffet and people could help themselves and then they could come and perch around on pillows all over the place. Now, don't get too comfortable because you've got that lime ice to make.
I'm not. I'm just resting my eyes.
Okay, Cleopatra, whenever you're ready.
You know, these things are like a staple in our house. A bowl of limes. You can use them to make anything. Drinks, salad dressings, desserts even. And when you're not using them, they look great just sitting there on the counter. And when you do have them around, you can use them to make my favorite easy dessert, lime ice. You start by zesting a lime, which is taking off the colored flesh of the skin. This all goes into the bowl. Then over that, you dump 3/4 of a cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. Into that goes a cup of sugar and a cup and 3/4 of water. Our last ingredient is 1/3 of a cup of corn syrup. That all gets whisked together until the sugar dissolves. This then goes into a metal baking pan, which we're going to put in the freezer. We're going to let this sit for 45 minutes, and then after that you're going to stir it about every 15 minutes until it gets a sorbet-like consistency.
Hey, can I give you a hand?
Now you ask.
Well, you all done? How'd it come out?
You'll just have to wait and see now, won't you?
Okay, so if I can't help you, how about you giving me a hand with the drink?
On one condition.
What's that?
It's something I like.
How about a watermelon cooler?
Sounds great.
Okay, now I'm gonna cut up the watermelon. Why don't you put about a cup of sugar in there? And then when you finish that, squeeze some more lime juice. You'll need probably about 1/3 of a cup.
Okay.
Okay, can you bring over some lime juice once you
Yeah.
put that all in there? Well, it looks like we're gonna have to do this in batches, doesn't it? I'm gonna throw in some water just to help get the blending started. There. And we'll blend this to a smooth drink. Smells pretty good, don't you think?
Yes.
Look at that. Okay. How about a taste? Grab some glasses. See if we got enough sugar in it, enough lime juice in it. Okay. It's kind of frothy from all that blending. There's yours. And what do you think? Tell me. Do we need to...
Great.
No changes in the flavors? No. I think we hit it pretty good. Hey, here's to the party. Lanie, how many of those watermelon coolers have you had?
Well, I just can't help it. They're so good.
Okay, we gotta get all the little toppings made for the tostadas, you know, the tlayudas. So I'm gonna ask you to take this queso fresco and crumble that up. Chorizo needs to be taken out of the casings and fried in your skillet there.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna make the salsa.
Oh, how long should I cook the chorizo for?
Oh, I'd say take about 10 minutes or so over a medium heat.
Okay.
Okay, we've got tomatillos here, some serrano chilies. I'll break up a head of garlic, and we'll need 3 cloves of garlic. And since I'm outside and I got the grill going, I'm just gonna do all of this grilling on a perforated grill pan. So I'm gonna put 4 tomatillos, 3 serranos, the unpeeled garlic cloves there, and put those into the grill. We'll let those cook there, roasting over the grill until they're completely soft, and they'll be all sort of blotchy, brown, black, to make about 10 minutes. Okay, once the roasted tomatillos, garlic, and green chilies have been cooled off, then peel that garlic and put it into a food processor along with the tomatillos. Got those chilies, got to pop the little tops off of them there. And then I'm going to make that into a kind of salsa consistency here. Just pulse it a few times and that'll be enough for that. I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro to it as well. And just tear off some of that like that. Give that a little pulse to get that started chopping. And now I'm going to put an avocado into the mix.
Hey, Poppy,
there. Yep.
Is this what you wanted for the cheese?
Looks perfect, absolutely perfect.
Cool.
Okay, now cut around the avocado, scoop out the flesh. I'm going to have to get rid of that pit. Scoop it out. And then I'm going to pulse that until it all comes together into a kind of luscious, textured tomatillo avocado salsa. Now that's going to need a little bit of salt in it. I'm going to check the consistency of it as well. Looks like it could use just a little bit of water. So I'll drizzle in that. And some salt needs to go into the mix. A couple of pulses, and I think we're done with that one of the toppings there. Ah, beautiful. Okay, I think we're ready to scrape it into a serving bowl
My part of the
there.
toppings are done.
Oh, good. Yeah, that chorizo looks like it came out pretty good there.
Yeah, it does.
Now, you can smell the roasted tomatillo,
Oh, yes.
and you can smell those chilies. I think this is going to be a little bit spicy, but
My
good.
favorite.
We've got some spoons here, so one for the cheese, one for the chorizo, and one for the salsa.
I'm just starving. Can we just have one now?
Well, you know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do a little test run and make sure that we've got this right.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple of tortillas over to the grill here. You want to hand me those tongs, and we'll just turn these over the hot fire until they crisp up. I'm going to brush the top of each one of them. A little bit of these bacon drippings. That'll make it nice and tender. And then you can sprinkle some of the chorizo on there, Lane.
This one's gonna be mine because I want a lot of it.
Now, careful, careful. That's a little too much, I think. Spread it on it.
Never for me.
There you go. Now that's perfect, I think. Okay. Now a little bit of the crumbled cheese. I'm just going to use my fingers. I think that's the easier way to do it.
Yeah.
And then a little on yours. When that gets warm through, which will just take a second there, a little of the, boy, doesn't that look good?
Yeah. Looks almost like guacamole.
It does. Well, it sort of is. Now we'll put that on the top of it. And then I'm going to give you a napkin and we'll just slide it right off. I've got a pair of tongs I can grab it.
Okay.
Here. Okay, here's yours.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Go ahead, dig in. See how crispy and crunchy they are. I love these.
So good. So now, time for my usual question.
What's that?
Music. Have you thought about it?
Of course I've thought about it.
So have I. I was thinking we could do a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of that.
No, wait just a second. I've got a big surprise for you. Okay.
Ready?
Are you ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What's that, Steve? Okay, let's lift it out now.
Okay.
I gotta get put my Okay, here we go. Look at that. Now there's the avocado leaves underneath the banana leaves. So I think we're about ready to take the thing in. Okay. Let's get this big piece. Are there any avocado leaves? Pull them off there. Okay. Okay, now the last piece here. This is one of the legs.
Ooh.
Yipes. Okay. Boy, look how tender that is. It's just sort of fall off the bone tender, isn't it? Get it up there. Any leaves? Pull that off. It's kind of messy work, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. But do you smell that wonderful broth?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wow. Okay, so those lamb drippings, that's the part that we're gonna serve as a soup. So we'll pull out all of those avocado leaves, all the little herbs and stuff that were down in there, and then we're gonna serve it right alongside this beautiful lamb. Now we gotta pull the meat off the bones.
This looks like a good one to get started
yeah,
with.
It's not gonna be hard at all, is it? Look at that, and we gotta get it back out to our guests really quick. Beautiful stuff. Look at that. Succulent. Okay, here's the lamb. Yeah, ready. We've got some beans over here, tortillas for you, some salad. This is the salsa from Oaxaca made with the smoky chili called pasilla oaxaqueña, roasted tomatillos, a little bit of garlic. There's some Oaxacan-style black beans, also cooked with avocado leaves, just like this. So here we go, all ready to serve. You want to help yourself? You want to start? These little tostadas are some of my favorite things. Another one over. There you go. This is the broth. This is the lamb broth that cooks underneath the lamb for all the 6 or 8 hours that it's in that pit. Sort of like the flavors of the ages, you know? It's one of those really great things. It has that, because it's a little baby lamb that we cooked, it's got that real beautiful sweetness. It's not the strong flavor.
Great surprise!
Cheers.